Well, you can tell it's becoming spring because we have the geese out there who are wreaking havoc on anyone coming in and out of City Hall. But also, we get to talk about the street sweepers. This is a pretty fun day for our staff to set up and get to see these trucks behind us. Over the last few weeks when we had really bad winter storms, we of course got out there, did our best to get in front of the safety issues that ice and snow cause. And now it's time, as spring comes along with the better weather, now it's time to get out there and clean up that that sand and that and the salt that might still be on the road, so we can make the roads not only clean but safer for folks who drive motorcycles and ride bikes. So we're here to tell us about this a little more, and I'm sure we'll be in a very detailed and academic way. We have Ben from Public Works. So our residential streets, as he's walking up here, I'll tell you, are targeted for sweeping 1 to 2 times per year, and that's dependent on the level of mature trees. And as greater levels lead to more debris on the streets, we will be out there addressing that. So Ben, come on up here. Ben last time gave us the chemical compounds of which salt we happen to use on which temperatures. I'm sure I look forward to this, Ben.
Well, thank you. I am far from a chemist, but I can act like one. The mayor alluded to this being a really important priority for the city of Wichita. Every year after we have our winter storm response, there's obviously thousands of tons of sand that are left on the roadways. So each spring we begin in earnest to try to get all of that sand cleaned up as quickly as possible. Again, to the mayor's point, that can create a bit of a safety hazard, in particular for motorcyclists, bicyclists, and pedestrians as well. We're beginning our annual sand cleanup on March 15th, so next Monday. What we're doing is diverting some of our resources that are generally on residential streets over the next month or month and a half. We're going to really key in on our primary and secondary emergency routes. That's where we placed so much sand on the roadway over the winter time. So during first shift, during the daytime hours, we're going to have up to 5 operators who will be running the street sweepers on the travel lanes to clear those of sand, and that'll be getting some sand into the gutter pan along the curb. That our second shift and third shift operators, this is a 24-hour operation. The 2 operators that are on second shift and then 2 other operators on third shift in the evening and overnight hours will come along behind the first shift operators that cleaned off the travel lanes. The overnight and evening operators will then clean off the gutter pans, so that you continually see progress as we make our way through the street network. We'll continue about once a week on cycling through the Central Business District as well as Old Town. Will be our third shift overnight operators. The 2 that we have there will be splitting time between the main arterials and the secondary emergency routes, as well as the Central Business District and Old Town. And once we get through all the travel lanes on the arterials, we will transition gradually back to taking care of residential streets with the goal that we have all the arterials cleaned up and we get back to normal operations by June 15th at the latest. The mayor had talked about how we try to make it through 1 to 2 times a year in residential areas. We're not going to be able to do that for the next month to month and a half in all likelihood, as we repurpose them to be on our arterial streets. However, we'll start to catch up more on residential streets, and that become afterwards, and that becomes a little bit more important generally in the fall, when some of the trees and brush and everything begins to lose some of their leaves, and that kind of hits the curb line that needs picked up. So this is kind of good timing for that. And again, our target date to get all the sand cleaned up is June 15th, if not earlier.
Ben, can you tell, is there a website that people can actually follow along with these?
There is a website, and I apologize, I forgot the wichita.gov/Megan Lovely will get you the Sorry. I usually, we can make that available. But yeah, there's a website that shows projected dates of when residential areas will next get their street sweeping. That map is subject to change based on conditions. Obviously, when we're in our spring cleanup for sand, and the priority being all the arterial roadways, that street sweeping map will probably be updated. So you can look at the map, but you can also call our office at 268-4013 if you have any particular questions about a certain area. Thank you so much.
Hang out. in case there's questions.
I will. Okay.
All right. Well, next thing we're going to talk about is the wind. Now we need to do something about all this wind, Ben, if you guys can work on that. Is our NFL partnership. As the street sweepers are a sure sign of spring, another sure sign is returning to outdoor activities. Next, I want to invite up Daniel from our Park and Recs department to discuss an exciting youth sports program and partnership that we have happening this summer in Wichita. So, Daniel, I'm going to close this so you don't get hit by the pages.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for having me. Yeah, like Mayor Whipple said, oh, let me take this off, sorry. Like Mayor Whipple said, we are excited to announce a new partnership with the National Football League, the NFL. We are kicking off a NFL flag football league here this spring. Let's see, the league, it's open to registration right now, and you can go get registered at the wichita.gov/NFL flag website. The league's open to kids aged 4 through 11, both boys and girls aged 4 through 11. Yeah, we're very excited about it. It's the largest flag football league in the nation. It's got over 500,000 participants nationwide. It's got leagues in every state, and now so we're excited to bring it to the city of Wichita. Registration, like I said, is open, and it closes on March 22nd, so we've got about a week and a half left of registration. So, like I said, you can get registered on that wichita.gov/NFL flag page, or you can call us at 268-4129 to get registered. So, just a couple of points on the league. We're really excited about it because flag football is something that's it's a great introduction to the sport for kids who have never played before, especially if parents are a little bit leery about getting them into the tackle football scene. We've got flag football available to them, so it's great for newcomers, but it's also great for kids who have already been playing football. It's great to work on timing, your route running, your defensive secondary, all different types of stuff that you can work on and really focus on in flag football. So I think that does it for me, Mayor. I'll hand it back to you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
So my boys are a little too young for football, but we were able to sign them up. I got the text message confirmation from my wife that we signed them up for a robotics class over at Exploration Place. So this is the time to really start looking into some of the offerings that we have this summer, as kids I think are getting closer to the end of school, and I'm sure parents, if you're anything like my wife and I, while things get safer, while we get a better handle on this pandemic, and while these numbers continue to go down, it'd be nice to get the house back a little bit, get the kids off doing something a little more productive than climbing all over mom and I while we're on a Zoom meeting. So flag football is going to be an incredible opportunity, great introduction I think for kids, and my understanding is you don't have to buy all the gear, it's less of a commitment, so that's going to be I think a really great program. And also just want to give a shout out to the library, the programs they're doing, Exploration Place, and some of these other programs that are being offered throughout our city. Go to our wichita.gov or our social media page. Megan does a really good job sharing the independent social media pages of the different organizations and different departments here at the city level when they have sign-ups and such. So make sure you follow us so that you can get your most out of our Parks and Rec department, and also libraries and city arts and the other stuff that we have going on here in Wichita. With that, I'll open up to questions. There's no questions, I believe, though I could be wrong, that Ben and someone else is going to drag race these two down the street. Are we closing this off? Going to race? No? Okay. No? Well, how disappointing then. Sorry to drag you guys out here if we're not going to race these. No, I'm kidding. But any questions on anything at all? If not this, anything else going on at the city level? Excellent. We really appreciate everyone here. Again, look forward to better weather, and look forward to these geese moving on. Thank you all.